you ready to get to your first 1 million monthly views on Pinterest? I'm gonna help you get there through using Tailwind. I'm Emily Vales. I'm a Pinterest marketing and ads strategist. And for the past 4 years, I've helped my clients and my students increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. Now, before we dive into this Tailwind tutorial today, I want to go ahead and invite you to subscribe to my channel so you never miss one of my Pinterest marketing episodes. Now, let's first talk about the way that Pinterest works before we dive into this Tailwind tutorial. So Pinterest is a visual search engine, in case you didn't know. And the natural nature of a search engine is it just takes time. I like to think of Pinterest as Google or YouTube. They are all search engines. And the way that search engines work, they have to index content and understand keywords. And based off of those keywords, that helps the platform understand who they should be serving that content to based off of that user and what they're actively searching for. So that's why I always preach to business owners before they really start diving into a consistent Pinterest marketing strategy, they have to have a really solid understanding of what their audience is currently and actively searching for on the platform. And in order to uncover those keywords, they need to do some keyword research. So if you're thinking, okay, Emily, that sounds great, but I have no idea where to start with this keyword research, I've got you covered. I do have multiple different YouTube videos all about doing keyword research on Pinterest. So I would love to invite you to check out one of those other YouTube videos after this one. So now back to Pinterest and the way it works. Like I mentioned, it just takes time. And sometimes I find that business owners get a little impatient with Pinterest and they think that it might not work after they have been consistent for maybe a month or two of being on the platform. So I like to just give this disclaimer. When you're first getting started on Pinterest, it's gonna take anywhere from 3 to 6 months, or maybe even 6 to 12 months to see growth based off of your niche and then also your strategy, the tactics you're implementing. So by tactics, I mean how many times a day you're pinning, how much fresh content you're pinning. So you can see there's all these different factors and variables that come into play with growth. So I can't say exactly for your business, this is the magic number for when you're gonna see things really take off. But what I can tell you is that Pinterest is an amazing platform, and it also serves as a full funnel platform, which really makes it unique. That means that people are not only entering your funnel at the top, going from that search and discovery phase, but they are essentially being taken all the way through that funnel so that they will ultimately make a purchase from you as well. And Pinterest takes great pride in the fact that they are a full funnel platform. And the lower part of the funnel where people are making that decision whether they want to buy or not, that might have not been a strength of Pinterest in the past, getting people to actually buy. However, that has been a big area of focus for a few years now on the platform and actually helping business owners get ultimately that sale and that conversion. You see, because when business owners are getting traffic and sales from the platform, they're happy, they're gonna continue to utilize the platform, create content, serve their audience, and then as they continue to create, that also is serving their audience, and it creates a really great user experience, then the users wanna continue to come back. So what Pinterest is focusing on is really creating a healthy ecosystem for both the Pinterest user and the business owner. So that's something to really keep in mind. So now back to how you're actually gonna get to that first 1 million monthly views. You really need to think about and just approach the platform with your mind made up that you are going to be in it for the long term. It's not a platform where you're going to see this explosion of overnight success. It simply does not work that way. So I think that it's really just best to have this understanding. And then when you approach the platform, you come at it with that understanding of, okay, I know this is gonna take time, but it's one of those things that it's gonna be worth it in the end. So I'm willing to see it through. Now, some of my clients who are making anywhere from literally $5,000 to $10,000 monthly just attributed to their Pinterest traffic, they have been on the platform for multiple years and they have a really good understanding of what it means to market on the platform and that it is a long game platform. So now that I have stressed that to you about giving it time, you also need to be consistent, right? So not only do you need to give it time to actually index your content and really start serving your content to the correct audience via those keywords, but now you need to be consistent. That is where I see business owners struggling, is with that consistency piece, because it kind of is a domino effect. As they might not be seeing the results that they want to see, then they kind of fall off the wagon because they don't feel like it's working. So even when it's challenging,
You're like, ugh, I don't feel like I'm reaching anybody.
what am I doing? Taking time and investing in this platform. If you can see through some of those hurdles in the beginning, it'll be worth it. And just a little side note, one thing that kind of is, it's a little irritating, a little frustrating for me, is that other platforms can take time too. When I first got started on TikTok, I had this silly idea that I was just going to see overnight explosion on that platform and that it would be really easy to grow a following over there. And every platform is different and has its nuances. And when you're growing something from scratch, some people do have really fast growth. And those people, I would say, are the outliers. That's not usually the general rule of thumb. So I had to be super consistent with TikTok in the beginning. I was posting multiple times a day and I did it for months on end. And now it's been a few years and I have grown a good following over there. And I also am seeing sales from TikTok and I'm getting clients from TikTok. But in the beginning, I was not. It was really slow growth. So that's just something else, that it's really a mindset that most things in business are not going to be an overnight explosion or, overnight success. And it's about having that understanding and being in it for the long haul. So, okay. Tangents over now. Let's go ahead and talk about Tailwind. Tailwind is going to be the easiest way to really autopilot your Pinterest traffic. And I'm a huge fan of Tailwind. I have used it since I started managing Pinterest accounts back in 2019. And when a new client signs on with me, I actually require that they use Tailwind. And it's just because it's really a no-brainer. It's an approved partner of Pinterest. It's super easy to use and it allows you to follow best practices while also staying consistent. So people have asked me before,
well, what about scheduling directly on Pinterest?
Natively, there are some things that you can do that are helpful. You can schedule natively on Pinterest and you can pick a time, but there's a lot of things that you can't do. And it feels more clunky to me. And you could do some of your pins that way. Sometimes I'll schedule out idea pins that way. However, for the most part, I really prefer to utilize Tailwind. And side note there about idea pins, we're kind of in this weird phase where we're phasing idea pins out on Pinterest and really just focusing on all pins. But I said idea pins because I actually still have idea pins on my account and so do my clients. So if you are wanting the latest updates about idea pins and their current status, I also have a YouTube video about that. So let me know in the comments what questions you have and I will respond to that. Okay, so I am so excited to jump into this Tailwind tutorial. I'm just gonna give you a really great overview of how to utilize Tailwind, best practices, utilizing the interval feature, and also I am going to show you how to use the Tailwind Ghostwriter AI. I love the Ghostwriter because it's artificial intelligence. So we are familiar with ChatGPT, but in case you didn't know, Tailwind also has their own artificial intelligence. And it makes it so easy to just have it right there in their platform. So in case you haven't heard about the Tailwind Ghostwriter, I will be sharing it in this tutorial. But once again, I do have another YouTube video specifically all about the Tailwind Ghostwriter tool. And that YouTube video is really great because it not only shows how to write pin titles and descriptions using the Ghostwriter, but then it also helps you come up with ideas for creating your long form content with your blog posts and lots of things. So that YouTube video will also be really helpful. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and jump into this tutorial, and I can't wait to share more with you about how to utilize Tailwind. Hello there and welcome to your Tailwind bonus tutorial. I am a huge fan of Tailwind. I am a proud affiliate. of Tailwind, and I will include an affiliate link in this lesson for you to utilize if you'd like to sign up for Tailwind. If you use that link, I will get a small commission at no additional cost to you. So when you start that trial of Tailwind, they will give you up to, I believe it's 100 pins for free, so you can kind of get the feel for it. And I really only recommend tools I use and love personally, and that's why it makes sense for me to become an affiliate, is because I talk about these tools all the time anyways. So like I said, I obviously use Tailwind for myself, and I actually require that my clients utilize Tailwind as well. Interestingly enough, most of my clients, actually I think all of my clients, have always used Tailwind already or did not have a scheduler and they were open to using Tailwind. So Tailwind is essentially going to be, honestly, it's just going to be the easiest way for you to stay consistent with your Pinterest strategy. Now, I say that about a scheduler in general as far as consistency. So it doesn't have to be Tailwind, but you want to make sure that whatever scheduler you decide to use, if it's not Tailwind, that they are an approved partner of Pinterest. So for me, Tailwind was just kind of a no-brainer. So I'm just going to walk you through, and I do want to mention that if you have never used Tailwind, one thing that I really like about it is they do walk you through step-by-step how to use their platform. So you quite literally will get a tutorial when you sign up. But I think it's still nice to kind of see on somebody else's back end how they're utilizing it. So at one point, and this is why I am re-recording this bonus, just like any platform, they've undergone updates since the last time I recorded this bonus with my course originally. So I wanted to record this Tailwind bonus with the updates that Tailwind has made. So you can see this is the way that you'll see your scheduled pins right now. I actually prefer the original publisher. This is what people used to always see as far as their, I'm not going to utilize that right now. This is the scheduler that people used to see. So I kind of liked seeing my pins like this rather than the view that we just saw. So I might refer back to this. Now, if you were just getting started on Tailwind, they might not allow you to view this original scheduler. So this is why I wanted to re-record this bonus, was because my original video actually only showed this view. Whereas now, if you're just getting started on Tailwind, you're probably going to see this view as far as your pins and the day of the week they're scheduled. So you can do this by weekly or monthly, so you can kind of see how many pins I have. You'll see the numbers, but still, once again, I don't love that view, but some of my clients only have that view, and it's okay. I think it's just because I'm kind of used to this. So let's go ahead and get into it though. So you'll see I have these different open time slots. Essentially what Tailwind does is they auto-populate times that they think your audience would be most active. So I typically just follow their lead on that. So let's say I went ahead and I have set up my Tailwind account, and now I'm ready to start scheduling some pins. So for me, I could add remove time slots. I want to show you this view in case you're looking at it over here. So you can see the schedule. Let's see, let's go back to weekly. Okay, so now let's say that you're just looking at it from this view and you want to go ahead and let's say you want to create a pin and get it scheduled. One thing that's really nice about Tailwind that's kind of cool, apart from the ability to schedule content, and really it helps you stay consistent, obviously, when you're using a scheduler, they have something called the create tool. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to create. It's going to keep prompting me to reconnect my Instagram account, and I'm not worried about that right now because I actually don't schedule my Instagram content. So let's say I want to create a new pin design for my blog post, Pinterest Manager Success Tips. I'm going to scroll down. Let's say that I'm going to create the pin around, let's just say an overarching, how to become a successful Pinterest manager. So here you can see it'll pull site photos. So that's going to auto-populate pictures from my site, or I can click on stock photos. I might just do the stock photos. Let's say Pinterest Manager. Let's see what comes up here. So it is kind of nice that you have the photos. So depending on this, depending on the level of account you have with Tailwind, there are some premium things that you won't have access to. So I don't have that. I'm okay with that because a lot of times I'm using my own brand photos anyways. So you would want to select something that says free if you don't have that premium plan. Something that you think is, and when you're searching for pictures, this holds true to just good practices or best practices for pin design in general, is to find a pin that is going to make sense for what you are directing that pin to. So if it says Pinterest Manager, you want to convey that within the picture. So let's do this. Let's see. Email working on computer. So for the sake of time, let's just we'll do this one. Okay, then you can scroll down, you'll see text. So you'll want to have the title or the text overlay for your pin. Remember, you want to use text overlay that has the pillar keywords that you want to rank for. So for Pinterest Manager, that's what I would want to be ranking for. We'll just leave it as that. You can change the font. You can upload custom or branded fonts. Let's say I want to make it a little bit bolder. We're just playing around with this at this point. Color palettes, you can add your color palette. So you can see here, that's why I've been able to have that. You can add your logo. I have my logo here. So then you can start scrolling and see. Then you can also, for the text, if you want to go back, add a call to action, you can do that. So learn more here. And then you can just kind of scroll. You can kind of scroll. You can kind of scroll and see what pin you feel like is going to work for you. Now, obviously, this might be something to utilize if you are short on time. Some of them, like this one, is really weird to me. I would never use that. So, it's one of those things where I've been scrolling and playing, and I'm like, I feel like I might have been able to create this. And then other times I'll see a pin right away and I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's just made it so much easier for me. So depending on the level of account you have with Tailwind, you also will only get so many pins you can utilize. But this is just kind of a cool feature that I do like to share. I have had pins I've created with the Tailwind Create tool that have performed pretty well for me. So especially if you're in a time crunch, if this is going to help you stay more consistent, let's say that you go with this one, select review design, then you can schedule design. You'll select your account. I already have my account. So then it's going to put it in your drafts. Okay. So whether you are using Tailwind Create or you are uploading your own draft, you are going to get to this screen where it shows you essentially your pin title, your pin description, the URL. Now I want to point out the ghostwriter. In module 4, I share with you how to create the perfect pin title. I share with you my formula for writing the perfect pin description, and you will want to you'll want to think about that when you are utilizing the ghostwriter. The ghostwriter is definitely different than ChatGPT. It is essentially functions very similarly because it is artificial intelligence trying to essentially save you time with copywriting. So I'm going to go over here, and let's say you'll want to put in the URL, and then what you're going to do is you're going to click ghostwriter. And then you're going to click on, it quite literally makes you choose what type of content you're posting about. And so informational content, if I'm directing it to a blog, I click on that. A featured product, if it's one of your products, I click on product. So for me, it's always a product or informational content. Then you can add keywords. So best work from home job, Pinterest manager, I'm going to add a call to action. Learn more about becoming a Pinterest manager here on my blog. Okay, now you're going to want to generate pin details. And it's giving me a warning. Saving details will overwrite your current title and description. So if you already had a title and description, if you hit save details, then it's going to overwrite that. Okay, so here's the pin title: Pinterest manager, work from home jobs for a successful freelance career. Okay, that's way too much. I would probably just shorten it down to how to become a successful Pinterest manager. Unlock the secrets of launching a successful freelance career from home with these Pinterest manager success tips. Okay, so freelance career, Pinterest manager, they just hit on some of the most important pillar keywords right in that first sentence. So check, that looks great. Dive into the world of Pinterest, an engaging platform jam-packed with potential. That's kind of a random, that doesn't really tell more about my blog post. Explore this fantastic work from home opportunity that showcases your creativity while driving real business results. Ready to be your own boss and build a rewarding career around your passion for Pinterest. Learn more about becoming a Pinterest manager here on my blog. So it's one of those things that you might do some editing and some tweaking, but if you're anything like me, sometimes if you have somebody just start something for you, then it can save you time. So then you'd want to click on save details if you are happy with that. And then you're going to want to select the boards you want to send this pin to. So I would choose Pinterest manager, side hustles for moms, work from home jobs. These are the most relevant, highly relevant boards. I don't want to just select every single board I have, right? I do have a lot of boards around Pinterest marketing, but I really want to focus on the ones that are people interested in working from home as a Pinterest manager, because businesses that are interested in Pinterest marketing, this isn't really going to apply to them because it's really about becoming a Pinterest manager and they just want to learn how to market on Pinterest. They're not trying to start a new career. So you're going to want to be very relevant with your boards here. And it's nice because I like Tailwind from the standpoint that you can choose multiple boards, because sometimes you do have 2 or 3 boards that this pin is really relevant to. Whereas if you are using the native Pinterest scheduler, you can only select one board. So I like that you can save it to more than one board. You are going to want to choose if you do schedule the pin to multiple boards, you're going to want to choose the first board to be the most highly relevant. So here I chose Pinterest management, and then both of these are, I would say they're about almost equal in relevancy. And then you can see here, it'll auto-populate when you want to use that. And so it is going to be, you'll see it automatically has Monday, August 7th, Monday, August 14th, Monday, August 21st. So you can change that if you want those to be even further apart, but you can see that Tailwind is helping you follow those best practices. The Smart Scheduler recommendations. So it says, we've analyzed millions of social posts and discovered your followers are most likely to be online and engaged. Pretty neat, isn't it? So it does have that feature where it already kind of knows the best time for you, or you can switch back to a custom time and then select additional boards are optimized to pin weekly. You could even change this to monthly, and it will tell you daily is not recommended. So if you thought that you were going to pin all 3 of these pins to those 3 different boards on the same day, no, thank you. They're telling you that is not a good idea. So now if you don't have very much content, then they say maybe monthly. So, okay, let's switch it back. And then if you are part of Tailwind communities, and we will talk about those in a minute, you can select the Tailwind communities that you want to drive those to. And then you can add to the communities, and then you would once you're ready, you're going to click schedule post. I'm actually going to save this for later. I'm not super happy with that pin, so I don't know that I want to use that just yet, but I really just wanted to walk you through that. So let's go ahead and let's go to, let's see here, the Ghostwriter AI. So we could spend a long time here, my friends. Tailwind has spent a lot of time themselves on really perfecting and enhancing this ghostwriter tool. I know as an affiliate, I'm also a brand partner, that they will send me emails encouraging me as a partner to create content around the ghostwriter tool. So you can play around here, but there are lots of ways that you can utilize the ghostwriter tool. And you can get the Tailwind Chrome extension, and then you'll see down here, I even have the Tailwind, the ghostwriter is this little thing down here in the right-hand corner. And so there's just kind of like unlimited options of things that you can do with this. And it's kind of cool. So you could use it to help you write a blog or an article if you're having trouble coming up with content. So just lots and lots of options. So then let's go over to communities now though. Oh, I get it. Okay, so now let's talk about communities. So I used to really recommend communities to my clients. I don't really find that they really do a whole lot these days. Do I think it's something that you need to stress about or spend a lot of time on? No. Could you get maybe essentially a few additional saves or a little bit more reach/growth if you utilize communities? Yeah, possibly. So if you're interested in utilizing them, essentially what a Tailwind community is a place where like-minded people are sharing their pins. And it's kind of like, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So there are rules about that you need to follow. So for this one that says, I am a virtual assistant, it says for every pin you post, share something from the tribe. Okay, they're not even called tribes anymore. They used to be called Tailwind tribes. So that's a little outdated. My thing is with the communities is that I don't really want to pin other people's pins. And I know that sounds a little selfish, but it just doesn't, to take time to pin other people's content. First of all, like I don't want to pin something that's going to go to somebody's templates. Okay. That's, I'm essentially marketing their products. That's not really something I need to do. So you'll just have to decide if the community is one where there's tons of great free content like blogs, inspirational, it's going to serve your audience, it's not taking a lot of time to sift through the content, then that's great. So it's just one of those things that you're going to have to decide personally. I don't think you should spend a lot of time focusing on this. If you want to find communities, you can click on find community, and then essentially you'll just start typing in, let's say that you are in home decor, maybe home DIY, and then it's going to bring up these different communities. So add power up to join. That's essentially, if I want to have more than 5 communities, that's like me adding on additional things to my Tailwind account, and that's not something I'm going to do. But if you do have a Tailwind account, you can join up to 5 communities. So add power up to request. So some of these, it's telling me essentially that I'm out of options as far as, I've reached my limit for Tailwind communities. Long story short, I've reached my limit for Tailwind communities. I'm already in 5. But what this would typically look like is it would either say request to join or just join. So some of them will require that you write like a little blurb about yourself. And I always just say like, hey, I'd love to join this community. I will only share high quality content and I will abide by the Tailwind community rules. Right? Simple enough. But other ones will just allow you to join. So this one says add power up to request. This one, you can see add power up to join. You could just join it. It tells you how many members are in it, how active it is, some of the different topics that would be covered. So you can see if it's within your niche. So it is kind of cool, but like I said, I don't know that it's something that is worth spending a lot of time on. I am in 5 different communities and I do add pins to them. I honestly should probably pay a little bit more attention for my own account if it's helping my account. Okay, so board insights. We are jumping over to Tailwind insights because Tailwind does have insights, which is kind of cool. So you can see recent trending boards. I can see which boards are performing the best or trending. You could look at boards with no recent activity. So a lot of these are secret boards. You can see email marketing. That's one that's not blog tips. So those are ones I should actually probably take a look at and think about, should I make them secret if I'm not going to keep them active, right? Let's see. Okay, then you can do pin inspector. Oh, it's kind of giving me an update here due to security update. So you can kind of play around with this, but it will show you the pin, total saves, impressions, pin clicks. So it's additional insights. I'm going to be honest, I don't report from Tailwind Analytics for my clients. I only report from Pinterest and Google Analytics. But if you want to take a peek at this, I don't think it hurts. And to see how many saves, what board it's on, things like that. Then website. So you can kind of play around with this as far as your different insights. Like I said, I don't utilize this for myself or my clients, but it is additional information and you could report from it as well. But the thing is, that's a little bit tricky with analytics. Nothing is going to match up perfectly. And that really bothers some people. Like, why does Pinterest not look exactly like Google Analytics? And unfortunately, it's not a perfect science and there's always going to be some variation. So what you see on Tailwind is probably going to look a little bit different on Pinterest even, or from Google Analytics. So I just stick to Pinterest and Google Analytics. So we have gone over how to use the create tool, how to schedule out a pin, and we've gone over Tailwind communities, utilizing the ghostwriter. That is really cool if you're wanting to get ideas, if you're wanting help writing a blog post. And then if you're wanting to bulk create, you can upload multiple pins. And what it's going to show you is it's going to show you all of this, and then there will be another pin. And so you can kind of bulk edit, add the title, the description, get all of those scheduled. So it saves you a lot of time. I also think it's pretty user-friendly. Like I said, when you first log in, it's quite literally going to take you step by step through how to utilize the platform. So this is kind of just an overview of Tailwind. I do like Tailwind. I do think it's easy to use. Let me know if you have any questions inside the Facebook group, but I hope you found this tutorial helpful. And like I said, in the description for this lesson, you will find my Tailwind affiliate link. And like I said, no additional cost to you if you sign up through that link. But yeah, let me know what questions you have, and I will see you soon in the next bonus. Bye for now. All right, as we wrap up today's episode, I hope that tutorial gave you a really good idea and overview of how you can utilize Tailwind, and you can see how it's really going to make autopiloting your traffic a no-brainer and super easy to do. So one thing I want to mention as we do wrap up this episode though, being consistent is ultimately going to get you to that first 1 million monthly views. But when you are thinking about using Tailwind, the only thing that you are going to want to be conscientious about is, and I'm going to be a little bit harsh, garbage in, garbage out. That's right. If you're not following best practices with Tailwind, then you're not going to see the greatest results on Pinterest. And I think that's where sometimes I've heard this common misconception that using the scheduler hurts the distribution of your pins, or using Tailwind is going to hurt your Pinterest traffic. People might think that, and they might even see that, and that's not because of Tailwind, but it's because they are not following best practices on the platform. So whatever you're putting into Tailwind, it's just a platform. It's going to put out what you put in. So that's why it's important that you are focusing on fresh content, optimizing your content, using keywords, and not just repinning like crazy and being lazy just so you can fill out your schedule. And I've seen that before, where people just want to, hit certain numbers where they're pinning 10 times a day, or they're putting, out this much video content, whatever it may be. And I don't want you to focus on having a specific number with your output, but just focusing on creating really great high quality content that is properly optimized for the platform. And through that is how you are really going to see the best growth. Now, I am sharing in the description of this video my Tailwind affiliate link. I am a Tailwind affiliate. I am a proud partner of Tailwind as well, but I only recommend tools I love and I use. So if you click that link in the description of this YouTube video and you decide to start your free trial of Tailwind and ultimately become a user, I will make a small commission, but at no additional cost to you. And like I said, it feels out of alignment for me I would not recommend something that I've never used. I use Tailwind on a daily basis. I think it is a great scheduler. And like I mentioned, it's really important that if you do use a scheduler, even if it's not Tailwind, that you make sure that it is an approved partner of Pinterest. So that's really important. Okay, so we're going to wrap up today's episode. One thing that I would love for you to do, I would love for you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. That really helps me grow my channel and continue to create the very best video content for you so I can continue to grow and serve my audience on YouTube. It would mean the world to me, and I would love for you to share in the comments what other questions you have, because it's so important to me to continue to create content for the people who are following me and enjoy and really appreciate my content. So like I said, let me know in the comments what questions you have, how I can help you, and I can't wait to see you soon in next week's episode. Bye for now.